I want to share this not like a woe is me, my life is so dangerous, but more so about the dangerous rhetoric that's going around that gets in the mind of these unhinged people and encourages them, makes them believe that they're justified in threatening people's lives, in assaulting people. And at some point, this has to give. So you'll recall, gosh, this is like 2 or 3 months ago now, we were starting to see all these attacks and harassment and threats of signature gatherers for the two Let's Go Washington initiatives, one of them to protect girls' sports, the other one to protect parental rights. And we played many, many videos of various things happening in various places. But one of the things we played, there was an incident in Spokane where a guy was collecting signatures outside a grocery store. And this woman came up to him. She had her kids with her, and she was signing the two initiatives. And then this unhinged lunatic recorded herself threatening to hit this woman in front of her kids. And then she took to her TikTok account to kind of celebrate and justify her own actions in threatening this woman. Here's the video we played for you a couple months ago on the show.
No one gives a about Jesus. Get the out of my face before I slap you.
Why would this basic white be signing something about girls? Little girls. I am not a nonviolent person. I'll slap you in front of your kids because I don't care.
I am not a nonviolent person. I'll slap you in front of your kids because I don't care. So we played that. What we didn't tell you, and I do apologize, is that there was definitely some further activity involving that woman who we've since identified as Deborah Yepes of Spokane. So I covered the story of what she did to that woman in front of her kids at this grocery store in Spokane. As you know, I talked about it on the show. Well, she did not like that very much. And she took to her very active, I think she has several thousand followers on TikTok, and she very blatantly threatened to come to my home to harm me.
This conservative in Seattle, Brandi Kruse, she does unDivided. I need to find this woman. Can someone help me find her? Because she's so gross. I'm about to get in my car and drive to this mother's house. Like, you're out of your damn mind. You're obsessed with trans. I'm gonna whoop the ever-living shit out of your white ass.
Okay. She also said I look like a sister wives reject, which I take great umbrage with, and which should in and of itself be a crime. But alas, the only crime she committed there is threatening to come to my home to harm me. What was particularly concerning to me, because people say unhinged things on the internet all the time, although this was obviously very an actionable, I'm going to come to your home and do this. What concerned me at the time is the fact that she'd already shown a willingness to confront someone in person and to threaten to do them harm, the woman at the grocery store in Spokane. And so I did file a police report against Deborah Yepes, and I'm happy to report that police and prosecutors took it seriously, and she has since been charged with harassment, a gross misdemeanor punishable by up to a year in jail. She already had her initial court appearance. She pled not guilty. She has another court appearance on December 7th. And I'm hoping that they continue to make her come to this side of the state because one of the interesting things about this, I'll say, is that she filed something with the court essentially saying that she has financial difficulties and therefore can't travel from Spokane to King County because the case is out of King County because that's where I live. And so she has, all these financial hardships. And so she wants to be able to do the court hearings virtually. The first thing I thought of course you do. This is someone who posts TikTok videos like 5 times a day, still to this day, 5 times a day. And you have financial hardships. Here's some advice. Get a job. Because if you're on there posting TikTok videos 5 times a day, harassing people at grocery stores for exercising their right to sign an initiative, threatening some podcaster who you don't like, something tells me you have more time on your hands to work if you're really having financial difficulties. I also want to say, and this is important, that my case involving this woman is apparently not the only one. We knew that there was an active police investigation in Spokane into her threats against the woman in front of her kids. And in fact, the police report in my case confirms that Spokane PD does have an active case involving Deborah Yepes. So she now, because she's doesn't agree with what is a very common sense opinion that girls should or boys shouldn't play in girls' sports, she's now facing 2 criminal cases. And the thing is, it's like, is that worth it? But then you look at, and look, there's clearly something wrong with her. I mean, and I absolutely feared that she would try to come to my home. Now, what'd she say? Beat my white ass? I don't think that would have gone the way that she intended it to go. I am a black belt after all, but also I don't think that that would have had a positive result for her. But her rhetoric, and Nicole, can you play the video where she's threatening me again really quick? There's 2 things I want to point out in it.
This conservative in Seattle, Brandi Kruse, she does unDivided. I need to find this woman. Can someone help me find her? Because she's so gross. I'm about to get in my car and drive to this mother's house. Like, you're out of your damn mind. You're obsessed with trans. I'm gonna whoop the ever-living shit out of your white ass.
Yeah. So 2 things. First of all, her child is in the background. She's got a young son. How disgusting is that? That you're saying things like that in front of your young child. And it's hardly the only video where she speaks like that and has, violent rhetoric. So that was just disgusting. But the second thing, and I could play the totality of the video, but she talks a lot about how I'm obsessed with kids' pee-pees and touching their, pee-pees and weird stuff. And I'm thinking, where is that coming from? Well, you know where that's coming from. The Washington State Democratic Party, WA Families for Freedom, and the teachers union. Her rhetoric in these videos that have now landed her in 2 criminal cases, it mirrors the rhetoric being pushed out by the anti-initiative crowd, by the progressives. I mean, we've talked about this group, which again, it's so fascinating. They call themselves WA Families for Freedom, but it's tactical. And why? Because they know that Washington families want freedom. They don't want this version of freedom. So they call it that to mislead people. But what are they saying here? That if we pass this initiative to protect boys' sports, then it's going to force kids into invasive genital exams. And they call these initiatives dangerous. And they talk about how dangerous, and they're going to force kids, and kids could be exposed to a greater risk of abuse. And they don't think that those words have consequences? I mean, think about all, and we haven't even touched the surface of them. All the instances of the last 3 months we've talked about and covered on this show involving the harassment of signature gatherers, the assault of signature gatherers, people who've been arrested for it, initiative forms that have been destroyed, stolen, torn up. Now this case involving me and the woman in Spokane. This isn't just people, walking by and they're just angered by it spontaneously. No, they're being fueled by the lies and the hateful, dangerous rhetoric of entities like WA Families for Freedom, the Washington State Democratic Party, and the Washington Education Association, the teachers union. Their rhetoric is so dangerous. Teachers in a union, their rhetoric is so dangerous that it's leading people to commit crimes because they believe what they're reading. And so it goes beyond like, oh, woe is me, some chick on TikTok is unhinged. This is about the true danger of words. And I don't believe words are violence, but I believe the wrong words that reach the ears of the wrong person can have disastrous outcomes. And look, if the Democratic Party and the Teachers Union and WA Families for Freedom was out there just on the merits, just saying, hey, we think boys are girls if they want to be, and they should be able to play, and just making that argument, or we don't believe parents should be able to have a say in their child's education, making that argument and trying to pitch that, then it would be a different situation. But they're out there peddling dangerous lies like we want to touch kids. And you don't think unhinged people will take that and run with it? So it's just wild. Again, words have consequences, actions have consequences, but they do not seem to care because these attacks on the initiatives aren't relenting. And now this woman could wind up in jail over it. I don't know if it'll go that far. I hope it does because she has 2 cases. She's clearly dangerous, but this is still King County in Washington State after all.